Hey y'all, welcome once again to our channel. Today we're making a good one, yellow seasoned rice. I know you're gonna love it, so make sure you get your ingredients and let us start to cook. So for this recipe you're gonna need some cabbage and rice. I added some spinach, and you can add whatever protein you have, but I used sausage and shrimp in this recipe. So there you see I have washed and drained my cabbage from the salt water. I let it soak in some salt water first, and my spinach as well, and then I drain it and then I cut it up. And so now I'm seasoning my shrimp with some Old Bay, garlic, onion powder, sazon, some ground cumin for that smoked flavor, and then we're just gonna rub the seasoning all over, make sure it gets all the way in, and then let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And so then in a bowl I'm going to be adding about a tablespoon of oil, and then I added some unsalted butter, about 2 teaspoons, 2 cloves of garlic, and a teaspoon of curry powder. And so I'm just going to burn that for a minute or two, and then we're going to be adding our cabbage. And you let that steam for about 3 to 5 minutes after you've combined it in the mixture. I thank you so much for watching our video. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, and leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. And so there you see I had my 1.5 cups of parboiled rice. You can use jasmine rice or white rice, whatever your preference is. And then we went back to our pot to check on our cabbage, and I've added about 1 or 2 pieces or sticks of sausage, and then I'm adding in my shrimp. And so since we're going to be combining all that together, I mean, you can cook it separately or you can cook it together, but just ensure that you give it enough time to make it cook properly so your family does not get sick. So this I did for about 3 to 4 minutes because you don't want to overcook your shrimp. And so I just combine those, cover as I go to make sure that it's thoroughly cooked. And then once that is cooked, then we're going to be removing this from the pot and putting in our rice. So in essence, you can call it a one-pot meal. So there I've added some grated ginger, and I've added now my spinach that we had earlier that is washed in salt water to kill all the germs and possibly bacteria that has come into contact with our vegetable. And so that doesn't take a long time to cook, as you know. So once we incorporate it within a minute or two, then we'll just add some spices once again. So there I'm adding onion powder. I'm going to add a little garlic powder because you season as you go to ensure that the flavors go right through. And I'm going to be adding a little Old Bay. And if you notice, I don't use salt because my Old Bay and my Creole seasoning contain salt already. And so I try to limit the intake of that condiment. So therefore, you just continue to stir here and then let the seasoning cook for a minute or two. And this look like it's about done. The flavors in here are exquisite. It smells so good. So I've removed, and I'm just using the same skillet again. And there you see I have some chopped up seasoning, and I added about 1 teaspoon of butter to my pot. And there I'm adding sweet pepper. I add some green onion, some ginger, 2 cloves of garlic, thyme, a half an onion, small onion that is, and then we're just gonna let those become translucent and let the flavors come together. And once the flavor come together, then we're going to be adding some garlic powder again, because now we're gonna put in our rice. So we want our rice to be flavorful as well as the proteins that we're going to be adding. And so there I've added some Old Bay, a 1/4 teaspoon or less, because you may be wondering, since I just go by my spirit. So you can just add a 1/4 spoon or less of your spices depending on how flavorful you want it or spicy. So there I steamed my vegetable. They looked done now. So now we're going to be adding our other ingredients. So there comes the rice. And that's a 1.5 cups of rice that I have washed 3 times and drained. And you can always scale it up depending on your family size. And if you use a 1.5 cups of rice, you can use 2 to 2.25 cups of water. The water should just be above your rice once you stir it and combine it together. And so I'm adding a little bit of Old Bay again since there is no salt. Combine those and then let it start to boil. But before that, you can add some Maggi seasoning that you see I just crushed there and put in. So it's like a seasoned rice, which we are cooking. And the Maggi seasoning has some salt in it. So once your pot begins to boil with your rice, you turn down the flame to low to medium. And I'm tasting it right there just to make sure I don't need anything else inside of it. But if at that point when you taste it, you decide to add something else, then go ahead and do it. Add just maybe salt or a little bit more spice for the flavor. And then I'm gonna cover it with some grease paper. You can use a foil paper or cling wrap. All of those will let the rice steam. And there you see I am moving it around just to get the corners, which takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And there I'm testing it, and the grains are crushed, so we know it's done. You can give it another minute or two, but there you have the finished rice. So now we're going to combine everything together. I've put 2 tablespoons of butter, about a 1/4 teaspoon of creole seasoning, and I'm going to add the rice in portions so we get it to combine easily. You can use a wok to do the combination if you have that. You get that butter and seasoning over your rice, and then add a portion of your cooked meat and vegetables that we did earlier. Combine those and then add rice, and so you just do that in layers, so to ensure that everything is combined together properly. You could add some shredded carrots to this too. I'm adding some liquid smoke and some Maggi liquid seasoning as well, just to give it a little bit more color and flavor as well. So combine that all in the pot. You could add some bay leaves too if you would like. And so there you see I'm adding my second portion of rice. And then I'm going to be adding the rest of my protein / vegetable mixture and combine those together. Sprinkle some parsley on top or your Italian seasoning, and there I'm putting some green onions as well. And my parsley, as I've suggested before. You do this for about a minute, and then you'll see our finished product coming right up. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video. Bye.